So if you'll go to the CLEAT website, you can scroll over to Public Affairs and scroll down to the legislative page, and you'll see that we have various bills that we're working on. So today our focus is going to be on our opposed bills, and there are 54 of those. Joined here by Chris Jones. Around the corner is the President, Todd Harrison, and our legislative aide, Rita Ostrander, and generally we have other folks in the room, and so they come and go as they're available. We have 6 registered lobbyists working in the legislature, and we're going to jump right in and start talking about the opposed bills, the bills that we are opposed to that are in the legislative process. Chris?
So we have on our legislative update page on our website bill tracks that list all of the bills by subject matter and also by our position. So we have a list for 4 bills that we support, we have a list for the bills that we oppose, and we have a list of bills that we haven't made a decision on that we're watching. They may or may not impact us. Those bills are updated nightly, so you can go and look and see what we're doing to represent your interest here at the Capitol. The bills that are on the opposed list are a hodgepodge of things that we've dealt with for years. Of course, we have a good number of bills that are trying to impact capital punishment. We have strongly been against any efforts to change the capital punishment law. And so all of those bills will be listed on our opposed list. None of those in the past have gotten any traction. We're going to stay on top of it, and we'll be in the Capitol when those bills are heard in committee to oppose them. Also, another area of concern is there's been efforts in the last couple of sessions to amend or change the criminal and civil asset forfeiture statutes. As you know, if we seize property in the course of an investigation, that's subject to a civil asset forfeiture. Contraband can be seized if it's used as in a criminal enterprise, and it's a lower standard than a criminal offense. It has to be by preponderance of the evidence. There are a number of bills out there to try to change that so that you actually have to be convicted before we can seize property. There's also a number of bills to change the standard of proof. We're again against all of those, and we'll be actively working to oppose those. And then we have a whole another series of bills that deal with basically issues that have stemmed from Sandra Bland and the Sandra Bland Act, the general bills that attack civil service, attack our ability to arrest traffic or Class C only offenders, our ability to meet and confer or bargain our agreements, and those bills have been filed as well. We have already stood up and testified against 4 or 5 bills that you can always go and look a bill number up, and if go to the committee that bill was heard and pull up the video for these bills and listen to what we have to say about them. But a number of those bills, one by Sophronia Thompson, we testified last week on, that would have weakened meet and confer, would have limited our ability to negotiate contracts over discipline, and hindered the hearing examiner's ability to determine based on the totality of the evidence as opposed to limitations imposed by the bill. There are also some bills out there that we have been against that have attempted to get access to your departmental file or G file and video that is not now releasable under the Open Records Act. So we've been against those. There's another bill that we testified against on resisting arrest that would weaken the resisting arrest. And if you haven't known, we have been actively involved in that attempt to attack the underlying charge so that if for some reason the arrest was unlawful or the underlying charge was dismissed, you wouldn't be able to proceed with the resisting arrest prosecution. Of course, that is something we are totally against because it's going to spur more fights on the street. You never arrest anybody that they know is guilty, and so they're going to say they're not, so they can fight you just to avoid the arrest. And so those are some of the things that we're dealing with, a whole myriad of areas of concern that we're watching every day.